Hey YouTube, this is Yirmiyahu Weeps. I hope everybody's doing well. Um, I was just thinking, I was reflecting on Yeshua and faith and suffering. I was thinking about how with Yeshua, he lived perfectly according to Torah, according to Yahweh, the Creator, perfectly according to love. Now, my experience is that when you try to live in this world, and you try to align yourself with love. Well, for myself, when I've tried to do that, I never feel like I know what I'm doing. Um, so I'm trying to do the best I can, but I mean, life doesn't come with like a guidebook, really, an instruction manual. I mean, I know like people say the Bible is the instruction manual for life, but the Bible's confusing. It's confusing to me, anyways, especially with the translations we've got. That makes it even worse because there's all these mistranslated words, and but it's just, I mean, to me the Bible is like a puzzle book. So to me that's not like a really clear-cut instruction manual. But other than that, you don't come with an instruction manual for life. So this life is confusing. So trying to live by love, trying to discover how to live by love, and what love is and what it consists of, and what's contrary to love and what's not, to me can be like a really, really difficult thing. But Yeshua, I think, was empowered by Yahweh to do it, to know and understand love and how to live by love, and know and understand Yahweh's message and Yahweh's instructions. So we live by love, and my experience is when you try to live, the more you try to live by love in this life, the more difficult it is, because this life is not set up that way. I mean, this life is a world of difficulty anyways, but you go against the grain when you try to live by love, and since that's not the way people operate, well, I'm not totally foreign to the way people operate, but they don't. I mean, it's a world where you have to look out for yourself, and love doesn't really do that. In love, you don't really look out for yourself, really. I don't think. It seems like that's what I gather, anyways. So he was living according to love, living according to Yahweh's instructions. And of course, since this world is contrary to Yahweh's instructions and hostile to Yahweh and his instructions, and hostile really to true love, I try to imagine the difficulty that he must have had all the time. And then to love people that don't understand you and reject you, and just want to get what they can out of you. You know, I mean, his teaching to crowds, and I'm sure there were people that were, if he was giving free food, you know, he turning, turning a few fish into thousands, doing things like that. People were getting free food. Maybe they just wanted to get what they could out of it. And maybe even with his teachings, they weren't caring as much about him as they were just, I want to hear what you have to say so I can benefit. You know, I mean, how much does that happen? I mean, how much do people get what they can out of somebody, or are attracted to somebody just for what they can get, just for what they can gain? Too many times, I think. It seems like it. I mean, I know that's happened to me. I don't like it. I don't want to be that way, but I mean, that's just, you know, that's the way it is. It's the way I am, for now anyways. But yeah, so I think he had, since he was completely aligned with Yahweh and love, then it just compounded his world of difficulty. But he trusted Yahweh. And then, I don't know at what point he got the message that Yahweh was planning to have him executed, tortured to death. But then he resolutely said, okay, That's what you choose for me. That's what I'm going to do. And his students, they tried to turn him away. They tried to stop him from going to Jerusalem, because that's where it was going to happen, and he knew it. And he wouldn't let them stop him. He was determined to go there, knowing that that's what was going to happen. And that he was completely human makes it all the more impressive to me. So much more awesome. That he was completely human and he knew what was going to happen to him. I mean, talk about trust. Talk about faith. He went through with it. He went through with being tortured to death. Trusting the Creator, knowing the Creator had in mind for this to happen to him. Trusting that the Creator was going to see it, not only see him through, but resurrect him, bring him to life again. I don't know if yeah, he knew that because he said 3 days and 3 nights. He was talking about that, so I think he knew that he was going to be resurrected. But that is some phenomenal, phenomenal trust, phenomenal faith. Now I know that the Creator does not have any of us, that none of us need to be in the position that Yeshua was in. Unique. But we do need to follow him. And we need to be conformed to his image, whatever that takes. I mean, however much suffering that entails. So it just makes me see, like with Yeshua, and him being tortured to death, trusting the Father while he's being tortured to death, and then being raised up by Yahweh and becoming immortal, where he's never going to die ever again. He's conquered death, and he's in a new body. He's, I mean, just awesome, awesome stuff. So that makes me go, well then with my own suffering and other people's suffering, I mean, I know there are plenty of people that have worse suffering than I do, but with our suffering, we can actually trust the Creator. We can actually know that this suffering is not the end. Death is not the end. Because just like Yeshua was raised up to life, so every one of us will be raised up to life. Each in their own order. It seems like Yahweh has a first batch that he's going to bring to life after death. People are Yeshua was the first fruits. He was the very first one, firstborn from the dead. Then there's going to be a batch that he's going to raise up to life again. And then he's going to raise up everybody else to life again. And purify a lot of people. Going into the lake of fire and sulfur to get purified. So tons of people are going to get purified. But everybody's going to have life. He's gonna throw death and the grave, which are synonyms. So it's the same thing. It's basically just death. Throw death in the lake of fire to obliterate it. Death and sin are going to be consumed and destroyed in the lake of fire. And the people that go in are going to be purified. So, I mean, it's just phenomenal to me with Yeshua that, and it reassures me and gives me hope even in distress. Even at the times that I feel like I've lost faith, it gives me hope knowing that the Creator love it himself, herself, because the Creator is beyond gender. So he's got he characteristics and she characteristics, but he doesn't have a specific gender. He's most often referred to as he, but he has she characteristics. So you can't just say he's a he and that's it. He's beyond gender. So anyways, he's love. And he will see us through. Whatever happens. Whatever we have to go through. whatever this life throws at us. And when death comes when death happens to us, I guess that's a way to say it. When death happens to us, when you die, He will see you through, and that's going to take trust when you die. Because death will be something, I mean, you're getting prepped. Every night you go to sleep, you're getting prepped for death, because sleep is a kind of death. You lose consciousness, and then you wake up in the morning. And that's what death is going to be. You lose consciousness, and then Yahweh will bring you to life again, and you will wake up. That's going to take some trust. I mean, it happens to everybody, but the closest we experience is sleep. So that'll take some trust, but some people die through like violence and torture and stuff, and that's just, to me, that's horrible. I would prefer that no one goes through that. I mean, that's my preference, but I'm not the one in control. I really hope and pray that nobody that watches this has to go through anything like that. If you do, I'm really sorry, but I know that that's not the end, and the Creator is going to bring you to life again. Yeah. So it gives me great reassurance knowing that Yeshua is human. Just a human being. Specially empowered by the Creator. But a regular human being. Who went through all the stuff that he went through. And who trusted the Creator. I mean, there's the time when he says, he's pleading for not to have to take the cup of torture and death, suffering, and there's a time on the Storos, I'm just going to call it a Storos, whether it's a stake or a cross, I don't know, and I don't really care, but it's a torture device, a torture to death device, and while he's on it, he says, Eli, Eli, how does it go? Eli, Eli. Oh, I can't remember. But it's basically saying, my El, why have you abandoned me? Why have you forsaken me? Why have you left me? He's quoting a psalm. Psalm 22, I believe it is. But yeah, he voices that. So the whole time he was empowered, supremely empowered by Yahweh. Trusting Yahweh, I think, every moment of his life. But he went through it. Since he went through it, then what we go through, we know we have the reassurance, we have the assurance that good beyond our imagining is coming for us. So even though we have to deal with everything that we have to deal with in this life, difficulty and suffering, and we will have to deal with death, we know that's not the end. For any one of us. Just as in Adam all die, so in Mashiach all will be made alive. Yahweh, the Savior of the world, the Savior of humanity, everyone. So, yeah, thank you very much for watching. If you have feedback, anything you'd like to add, very appreciated. Very appreciated your watching, and I hope you have a very good day. Shalom, au revoir, arrivederci, auf Wiedersehen, sayonara, shalom, dos vidania, adios, bye.